What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news after a second review concerning Oscar Valdez and Robson Concencao. Okay, now I looked at this fight. I was kind of busy in a family function yesterday. I still kind of am, but I'm taking my time. I took my time to watch the fight again. And people, let me tell you something. That fight was an absolute robbery. Okay? Rounds 1, Concencao. Rounds 2, Concencao. Rounds 3, Valdez landed a good left hook that kind of stunned Concencao. Okay, you can give it to him if you wanted to count that only that one time. Round 4, Concencao. Round 5, Concencao. Round 6, I think Oscar Valdez landed another couple good shots. Maybe a left hook he landed. I know he landed a good right hand. Round 7, Concencao. Round 8, you might have debated a swing round. Okay. Round 9, the point deduction. Out of nowhere, a point deduction from a guy that was mostly, what do you call it? Pantomiming. What do you call it? Gesturing. Okay, that's what you call a gesture. When you're doing that, like, come on, let me go. That's what he was doing, and he got a point deduction. And round 10, well, actually the best round for Oscar Valdez was rounds 3 and rounds 10, and that was the same round in round 10 where he got his fucking face split open. Okay. Round 11, Concencao. Round 12, I would give it to Valdez because Concencao thought he had it in the books. Okay, now, this fight, people, had favoritism, bias written all over it, okay? I mean, 100% written all over it. The ref was against him, took a point out of nowhere, kept telling him to break where he had his arms out and he could shove him back. After the point deduction, when he's supposed to rabbit punched Oscar Valdez in the 11th round hits him with an intentional left hook to the back of the head. I mean, one of those fucking blatant hard left hooks. And watch the head, you know. But he gets a warning, but Rob got a fucking point deduction. The commentators were against him. Of course, the judges, I'll get to the judges last, but the commentators. You look at Andre Ward and you look at Timothy Bradley. Okay, let me counterpunch these cats for a minute, all right? And I like Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley. But I believe somewhere down the line, when they gave their thoughts on Oscar Valdez's failed drug test, I think ESPN went to them and told them, hey, enough is a fucking enough. I think that's what happened because they did not know how to score that fight worth a damn. Andre Ward scored that fight like 5 rounds in a row. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Ever since round 4, it was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm like, what did fucking Oscar do to deserve those rounds? The man was looking for one shot at a time. That wasn't the narrative of the talk. He was getting out punched. He was missing all over the place. He was getting punched again and again and again with that jab. And you know what busted his fucking face up? Look at his face. Look at Oscar Valdez's face. His face compared to Mr. Robson over there. His face looks like fucking mush meat. He looked like he's been beat up by 2-3 people. Okay? And then ever since round 4 or 5, Andre Ward was saying, I don't know how he let himself out of the fight. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he showboated a little bit. He showed a little Pernell Whitaker, a little Emmanuel Augustus. He did a little bit of that, but he still maintained the same punch output. Look at the fucking punch land. Look at the punch stats. Look at them. They speak for themselves. I'm not even going to go through them. You guys can see it. Right? They speak for themselves. So at anything, these guys robbed this man because they didn't like the way he beat Oscar Valdez. Okay? And now, let me talk about the judges. The judges had it 115, 112, 115, 112, and then that old stupid, retarded ass scorecard, 117, 111. Like, that came out of nowhere. Like, Robson only won 3 fucking rounds. Right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, y'all had it a wash for Oscar Valdez, a motherfucker that threw 1 punch at a time. The only times in the fight where he threw combinations was in round 3 and in rounds 10. That was the only fucking rounds that he actually tried to put punches together. Maybe round 12, I think. But he did a lot of missing because Concencao was doing a lot of moving. All right, you know, instead of what I guess the Mexican fans wanted him to see. And then, you know, of course, the fans were against him. But back to the judges for a minute. I don't know what they were watching. I don't know what they were viewing. I don't know what they viewed, scored, and won Oscar Valdez. It had nothing to do with the referee's point deduction, right? Because even if it was 2 points, that would have had it 114, 115, 114, 115, right? No, actually it would have been 113, 115. So it still wouldn't have made a difference, right? Because he was going to lose by the scorecard. So, but the ref didn't like him. The ref was watching him, was everything he did. He had something to say. When he broke, he had his hands out. He pushed him back. You know what I mean? But anyway, it was crazy. Calling low blows when you didn't need to call low blows because it wasn't low. He was getting jabbed upstairs, jabbed to the body, straight right to the body. He threw a beautiful right uppercut. And it was times where Andre Ward, the best punch in the fucking round, I think it was round 3 or round 4, Concencao landed a crucial right uppercut. It was never called. It was never highlighted. And if you look at the highlights are promoted by the unofficial scorecards, which was Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward. Nobody said dick. They talked about some bullshit fight, left hook that Oscar landed, and he traded with Concencao and said that was the harder punch. That type of shit I'm talking about. So no, Concencao was not going to win in that fucking venue, in that situation, unless he knocked Oscar's ass out. And I hope Shakur Stevenson does. I hope he beats the piss out of Oscar Valdez. I think he's a fucking cheat, okay? There ain't no fucking T that's gonna have you like that. He shouldn't be fighting anyway. Let's be real. I'm tired of fucking trying to sugarcoat that. I'm tired of these guys just because you're a part of a clique or a group or a team that you get a pass or you get bullshit decisions like this. I'm sick of it. It makes me sick. 117, 111. Now, if they would have all been 3 like about the same, then okay, it was close and at least you gave this fighter that was from a foreign land the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, I think he won that one. Oh, you know what? He did good on that one. No, you motherfuckers didn't have that at all. But anyway. Last and not least, the fans. Okay. The fans, you know, they influence a lot of fights. You know, as you can tell, it was a high Mexican crowd. I'm going to tell you something about Mexican fans. They don't want to see fucking showboat. If you're showboating, you better be tearing this guy's ass apart. Okay? But then again, it's the judges also, you know, and then I think the audience or the crowd influence the judges as well. So, but then they don't want to see that at all. You know what I mean? They don't want to see you have a fucking personality. They don't want to see that at all. They want to see you get in there, go toe to toe, and fight till you fucking drop. That's what they want to see. Anything else is bullshit to them. So before anybody else decides to go in there and do something like that, you don't know how the crowd influences these type of fights. And I'm not giving Oscar a pass again, because I don't think he won. It was an absolute robbery, okay? The fight shouldn't be ran back. I would have been like Macau Fox, like, fuck you guys. You guys are all full of shit. The WBC's full of shit. Mauricio Suleiman's full of shit. You know what I mean? And you guys let shit fly. That's my counterpunch on that, guys. You guys tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you've been Counterpunch. Peace.